The lonely single father had grown used to silence. His days followed a predictable rhythm: early mornings preparing breakfast, long hours of work, and quiet evenings once his child was asleep. Life had taught him to be cautious. Loss had shaped him into a man who kept his world small, his heart guarded, and his door firmly closed to strangers. Peace, for him, meant routine and emotional distance. One stormy night, everything changed. A knock broke the stillness he depended on. Standing at his door was someone clearly in distress, tired, frightened, and desperate for help. Every instinct told him to turn away. He had responsibilities, a child to protect, and a past that warned him against taking risks. Yet something deeper stirred within him, a sense of empathy he thought he had buried long ago. Against his better judgment, he opened the door, offering shelter for just one night. He told himself it was temporary, harmless, nothing more than an act of basic human kindness. But as the hours passed, he realized how fragile his carefully constructed life truly was. The presence of another person in his home disrupted not only his routine, but also the emotional walls he had built over years of solitude. Old fears resurfaced. Could he trust again? Was he strong enough to protect both his child and this stranger? The simple decision to help had become a test of his emotional strength, forcing him to confront loneliness, responsibility, and a quiet hope that maybe his life was meant for more than survival. As dawn crept closer, the man began to sense that the stranger he had sheltered carried more than exhaustion and fear. Their silences felt heavy, their movements cautious, as if every sound might reveal them to someone unseen. Though they tried to appear calm, flashes of panic betrayed a truth they were not ready to share. The single father noticed these details, and unease slowly settled into his chest. What started as a simple favor soon revealed itself as something far more dangerous. Piece by piece, the truth emerged not through words, but through whispered phone calls, unfamiliar bruises, and the constant tension in the air. The person he had taken in was hiding from a threat that refused to stay in the past. Whatever they were running from had the power to reach beyond that night, beyond his front door. Now, the risk was no longer theoretical. By offering shelter, he had placed himself and his child in the path of something unknown and potentially life-altering. Fear urged him to step back, to end his involvement before the danger grew closer. Comfort whispered that he could still walk away, return to his quiet life, and pretend none of this had happened. But courage demanded something else. He saw in the stranger the same vulnerability he once felt after losing everything. Protecting them meant facing his own fears of loss, of failure, of opening his heart to danger again. In choosing to stand his ground, he accepted that true safety does not always come from closed doors, but from the strength to protect what is right, even when the cost is high. What began as a reluctant act of protection slowly evolved into something far deeper than the single father ever imagined. At first, his focus was purely practical, keeping everyone safe, maintaining control, and ensuring that his child remained unaware of the dangers surrounding them. Emotions were a luxury he believed he could not afford. Yet as days passed, the walls he had built around his heart began to crack. Through quiet conversations and shared moments of vulnerability, trust formed in unexpected ways. He listened to stories of loss, fear, and resilience that mirrored his own past pain. In protecting someone else, he was forced to confront the parts of himself he had locked away: his capacity to care, to hope, and to believe in connection. Again, love, he realized, was not something that disappeared with loss. It simply waited for the right moment to return. His child, too, became a silent catalyst for change. Watching their natural kindness and willingness to accept others reminded him of the man he once was. Slowly, the home that had felt empty and guarded began to feel alive again. Laughter returned, warmth replaced silence, and the idea of family expanded beyond blood and obligation. By choosing protection over fear, he discovered transformation. Trust no longer felt like a weakness, but a strength. Love no longer felt dangerous, but necessary. In opening his door for one night, he unknowingly opened his heart to a future he never expected, one built not on loneliness, but on connection, courage, and a redefined sense of family.